That might have worked.
Gotta hit him.
That might have worked finally. Finally? I think we're back. A lot of audio issues. Hopefully fewer internet issues. Saying excellent condition to me, but who knows? That could deteriorate instantaneously. But we're back.
I don't like my relationship with my ex-wife.
That is a strange joke. It's growing on me because you're persistent about it, and you know. But it's a strange joke. He doesn't have an ex-wife.
That's part of the joke.
It's like surreal misogyny. It's a little, but it's also like if you know Son, he's going for the absurdist stance on it, which is. He's not actually being misogynistic. He's being ironic misogynistic.
Nothing like ironic misogyny.
Yeah, okay.
Really fiery up in the morning.
Yeah. Welcome back, folks. Take 2, says Alex. Elaine is here. Suzanne Johansson, good to see you. David Martinez. Big Daddy Red, how are you tonight? I'm doing okay. I had my MRI today on my back. Haven't gotten the results yet. That was an uncomfortable thing to go through, but it's, not the worst case, and we're going to get some information, figure out what's going on. So hopefully doing okay after that. Baby is down for the night. Wife is down for the night, but I am up because I've got some business here with Raid. I'll tell you all about it in just a moment. We've got Dark the Enigma. Hey, good to see you, Dark. I haven't chatted in a while. Glad to see you in the live stream. Adrian L. Lo, I used to think he was your actual son, your editor. Yeah, I know. That's why I say my editor, whose name is Son. Like, that's the joke, right? I can't call him Son. I can't even call him my editor's son because everybody then thinks he's like the son of my editor, which is weird. But he likes the name. He likes the name. It's his name. It used to be.
Yeah, either way, it's not a good look for you. I don't know what's happening there.
It used to be a longer version of that name. So when I met him, it was Sundown Kill. And that was his League of Legends names. Yep. And then it became Sundown. And now it's just Sun.
It's still my name everywhere.
It's like Sundown Kill is?
Yep. Yeah, that's still my league name. It's still my name everywhere.
Yeah, so it's like...
You ever see Sundown Kill in a game, it's me.
If I said, I'm hanging out with my editor, Sundown, there's a chance people would think it's my editor who's got a son, and that son's name is Down. That's what people would say. Be like, that's a weird name for a kid. His name is Down.
That or your editor's son has caught a case of the tisms, brother. It's entirely possible.
He's not slave labor. He's got profit sharing. He's doing fine. Selena Feline, good to see you. I hope that Nair Gigante Archer is treating you well, Selena Feline. Dark, we talked last night. Well, okay. Drew is back in the house. All right, so let me hey, Broken Not Dead. I watched your latest video. Broken Not Dead, by the way, is a content creator. If you don't know him, you should go check him out. He does different things. He doesn't do what I do. Like, that's not the kind of content creator he is. He does other stuff. And it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I think there's space in every game's content creation sphere for different takes on what it means to be a content creator. And I think Broken has an interesting take on it. And I'm enjoying watching his videos, so you should go check him out. He's a smaller creator, but definitely give him a view, see if you like it. Took nearly all of my supplies for Freya about using gems. The dwarf whose name is King. The dwarf whose name is King, yes. Okay, all right, so let's start again. Let's move Sun back into his parahelion or anahelion or whatever it's called. What when the sun is low, was that called? Parahelion is equal one, right? I don't know. It's been a long time since I took like any kind of meteorological science. The link in Discord is wrong. We might have the old one, son. You're still looking at her every day.
What it is. The bot was catching up to the old one.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. I've been looking at this Asgardian deck of fate, and like all of you, I was very angry about it. The point totals here are much, much lower than we expected. We actually expected shards, right? And I've been saving shards for 2 months. If you look at my shard count right now, I skipped a 1+1 event for sacred shards. I skipped tons of sacred shard events. I didn't go for the Odin champion chase, which actually, worked out for me. I've got 29 sacreds. I was all set to just drop 20 sacreds on this Freya. In a weird way, this is almost better for me personally, but probably not better for most players that it's not a shard pull event, because most people were struggling with shard retention. And that being said, I was referencing earlier before the stream broke and I had to fix it. I was watching a Boozer video the other day, and I think it might have been a Boozer video like prior to the Freya Deck of Fate launching, but like in preparation for it. And he was talking about champion training and how like these brews up here, he basically burns through his brews all the time. He's constantly dropping his brews onto his champions. And one of the reasons why he said he did that is because, I don't know if he said it in this way, but the implication was he would prefer to have that power. This represents a bunch of energy, basically, or a bunch of power. You can think of it as experience, but you convert brews into another resource, right? You can convert it into experience. Now, that experience typically is gained through energy usage. So there's also conversion there that you can do. But what he's saying is, I would rather have all of this experience on my champions instead of sitting in my resources, which is a completely valid point, and I appreciate that he has that point of view. I have a different point of view, and it's not that I disagree with him. I actually agree with that statement. That's 100% correct. But as a free-to-play player, I typically, like my roster, the way I play, which may not be the way Boozer plays or the way other free-to-play players play, but my roster is the strength of my account. So if you look here, and if I were just to like pull up, let's say, all the 6-star champions that I own, I guess I didn't have to do that. I could have just left them. I've got 131 6-star champions. Not all of them are booked. I've got Timid the Fool here, who's unbooked. I've got, Narma the Returned, who's unbooked. Supreme Elhain, unbooked. I just booked White Queen Anacora, actually. But so I've got a lot of champions here, who are 6 stars and not booked. So books are the bottleneck on my account. So as a result, like just getting more 6-star champions is not as valuable to me as holding on to these resources for an opportunity to use them in a champion chase tournament that might have an important soul or an important champion. Now, what happens typically is, there might be 5 or 6 of these a year, but I'm at endgame, so I get matched up with spenders who usually outbid me. So I could probably put together like 25,000, maybe 28,000 points for a champion chase tournament with all of my resources, my gems, champion training. I could probably do that. And so, for instance, the Odin one that just passed, I actually thought about it. I spent about 3,000 gems to kind of prep for a last minute snipe attempt. And then a spender came in and spent like 10,000 points, and just really put it to a point where I was like, if I go after it and he decides to dip back into his wallet and get another 10,000 points, I'm going to lose and I'm going to zero out my resources for nothing and I'm not going to win. So I actually backed off of that. I was like, all right. And it worked out for me because I did pull Odin from a shard, which was extremely lucky. So there's a bunch of stuff going on. I don't like the Freya event, but I'm a completionist. I want the full Asgardian set. And I think that anytime you can get a really good champion as a free-to-play player, anytime you can get a really good champion without spending shards on it, you have to consider it. And what do I hold on to these resources for if not this exact moment? I'm not in a champion chase tournament. Nobody can snipe me here. I can guarantee myself a very good legendary without spending a shard and by only using resources that I save for this exact purpose. So despite the fact that I don't want to support Plarium and their very crappy Deck of Fate modifications, that's why I've decided to go for Freya. There's some other things too, but that's most of the reasons why I decided to go for Freya. So, all right, so that was a long explanation. Let me go ahead and say, Drew says, what point should I pursue fusions? Free to play player, new player here. Saw your video. As soon as you feel comfortable saving the resources necessary. So for some players that might be as soon as like 60 or 90 days. For some players that might not be till like 8 or 9 months. But somewhere in between 60 days and 9 months, you should probably take a shot at your first one. And if you watch a couple of videos to prepare for it, what you can do is like kind of see, like wait before you shoot your shot, wait for a good fusion. Like Thor would have been, if you were prepared, Thor would have been a very good one to go for. But this current one, what's his face? Brewmaster guy. Not probably worth it for your first fusion. Oh, I shouldn't say that. He's actually a pretty good first fusion, but like not as high tier as Thor. So, all right. So I'm going to put
my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you often find yourself having issues with shard retention?
It's like he is my son. You know, like, I mean, it's like I'm living with a teenager over here. Look at him. Look at his giggle. He is just dying right now. He's just so pleased with himself. All right. So moving on. I'm gonna put a
by all means.
I'm gonna put a poll up. I'm gonna start a poll. It's not going to affect my decision right here, but let's just try to yeah. Why is it always so tricky? They only give you 35 characters.
Yeah, retention's a pretty long word.
I'm gonna smack you. I can't. Okay.
You know, the worst part is you're the one that invited me here.
I did. I like having you around. The viewers enjoy seeing your face every once in a while. You know, and it occurred to me, like, I had several comments over the past several months. Like after Noob versus Pro ended, there was a real focus on the Hell Hades thing. And then we transitioned, Baby was here, and so it was just like we were like ships passing in the night, you and I. It was just kind of like I was handing off videos and you were editing and uploading them, and we never really, you know, we didn't get to hang out or talk or play games. And after a few months, like I was referencing you one day, just assuming everybody knows who you are. But of course, new viewers to the channel had no idea who I was talking about. And I'm like, how do you not know Son? Like, he's always in the Discord. He runs a lot of the show behind the scenes. Like, you know, and people were like, who is this son? Like, is it your son? And all the questions that we got a year ago started to resurface. So I'm like, I got to pull Son into some live streams. I got to get him in some videos.
Fair enough.
All right, so it's about 2/3 yes and 1/3 no. I hope I will be going for her. I will be going for her. And as I have already explained, you know, I agree that like I don't feel great about validating the deck of fate. I am curious. I don't know that I can actually really get her. This might be too much work. We've only got like 6 hours left. We got less than 6 hours left. So yeah, Suzanne Johansson says, I got Freya just because it wasn't shards, but the grind to get her was really hard. So I'm going to give you a look at where I stand currently. So I have 1,890. I have 1,890 points. I've spent roughly 1,500 energy so far just doing a little bit of champion training. Not because I really was like trying to do her through champion training, or I'm sorry, campaign, but because I had like a bunch of energy from clan versus clan and other places that came in all at the same time. And I was like, well, where do I want to use this? I was either going to burn it in Minotaur to grind Odin up, or I was going to burn it in campaign to like get some chickens ready. So I do have a number of chickens ready. Let's see. I've got a bunch of 4 stars, I think. I've got 1, 2, 8, 9. I've got 9 4 stars that are ready to go. I've got all these epics that I pulled in the last couple of shard pull things. Let me double check. So he's out. But this guy is not a chicken. But let me see. I forget if Liburga is a chicken. I think she is not. I think that's what that 1 stands for. So let me just go into, because I will use up the epics as chickens if they're not good empowerment epic. So let's just put in Liburga here. I don't think you can even pull her from a shard, can you? So yeah, I think I was just saving her for like the ascensions and stuff for this training. Okay, so let's get her maxed out. And so this is what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be doing a lot of this. We're just going to be doing a lot of this. Now, I do have soul stones. Come on, raid. It's literal. It just freezes because I'm trying to level a champion. What the heck? All right, so I do have some soul stones, but not really a lot. I probably have like maybe 6,000 points or 7,000 points worth of soul stones, and I would prefer not to pull them at all because I really want to. I want to hold on to those for a 2 times event. So I might burn through. Who knows? I haven't done the math. I might burn through all of these brews. We'll have to see. So I do have plenty of chickens to work with.
Don't you have like 9,000 brews? You have a crazy number.
Yeah, I've got over 10,000 brews actually. I should be able to do it.
Not gonna lie, Sun is fun. I like how he shakes his bum bum.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know. I feel like I'm being objectified. I kind of like it. No.
Q wants to see your Marvel character. So this is Sun's Marvel character, Aaron.
Yeah, I know what they want to see.
Yeah. Dude, looking good. Blue's a good color for you.
I'm always looking good. That's true.
Nothing
but the best.
Drew asks, was it luck pulling Odin? I thought you were close to Mercy. I was close to Mercy. I was at about 183 or 185 shards, something. I lost exact count, but I was over 180 and under 190, and I think it was just over 180. But I actually pulled them on the first shard, so I didn't technically hit my Mercy. So it was luck, but it wasn't like crazy shard. Like if you pull, if you hit Mercy, you pull a shard, you hit a champion, and then like you hit a Lego 10 shards later. That's crazy luck, right? Like that's what I did after Odin. Like I pulled 2 more 10 pulls and I hit Tormund. So I had all sorts of crazy luck that day. That was literally, it's the best in 3.5 years. It was the best luck I've ever had in a shard pull. I've hit multiple Legos in a shard pull video before. I've never hit multiple void Legos in a shard pull video before. Or outside of video ever. So that was crazy.
Landing that on the first pull too.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Bonkers.
Yeah. I'm not going to pull the souls if I can help it. If I have to, if I just run out of breath, I'm like, I just need 10,000 points or whatever. So I do have 7 of the immortal soul stones. I've got 53 mortal soul stones, and I've got some. I could get 11 more. It looks like, so 64 mortal soul stones. But they're not worth much. Like if you go over here, they're really not worth very much at all. They're worth 60 points. So I think using mortal soul stones is a mistake. Even immortal soul stones, the last deck of fate, they were worth 1,000 or 1,500 or something. It's crazy. Much more points there. So even if I pull all 7 of them, it's only 4,200 points, which is not a lot. So really, I have to do this with champion training. So I'm going to show you guys all of my little tricks for getting champion training done. So we will start with some actual campaign stuff. But let's just go ahead and let me see. Do I have space here? No, I don't. All right, so let's actually, I guess we won't. We'll get to it. We will get to it. So let me make some chickens. Let me 5-star some pieces. Let me see if there's anything in my vault. I don't even know. I don't think there is. There? Is there any? Are there any food?
Next time Q asks me to build anything for the Discord bot, I'm gonna remember this. Calling me the greatest Apple Store employee ever.
Hey, that's a positive thing. I think he's right.
You know what? You're right. I would be the greatest thing to ever happen to Apple.
All right, let's go ahead and take these 2 champions into the collection. Because we can just run up a bunch of... These are all the copy. Like not dupes. They're the original. So those are all original. These might be chicken. That's not a chicken. I have a whole system here, but sometimes I get a little bit of I don't really use my system as effectively as I should.
Everybody is like, less talking, more brewing. The rage are gonna not have enough time.
Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna max all of these champions out just because I want them at 40. And I'm gonna put them back in the vault. In fact, we can just
How long do you think it'd take you to go through all of those brews?
A couple of hours. It would be fast. So a 4-star takes 24 brews. So if I have 2,400 brews, I can do 100 4-stars. That would take a few minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it would take that long, right?
In terms of the amount of time it would take, it wouldn't take long at all. In terms of the, like, if you were just to say, like, you were doing it for a reason, you know what I mean? Like, you're doing a champion training tournament or you're doing whatever. Like, how many champion training tournaments would it take to burn through all my brews? And the answer to that might be, like, 7 or something. You know, like, I don't know exactly. And, of course, you're always getting new brews. So it's not like this number is static, right? So I do 7 champion trainings over the course of, say, 4 months, and I get all of my brews back. But yeah, Raid is lagging for me. I hope the stream is not lagging.
Oh, it was for a little bit, but decided we should just just push through it.
Someone get me a lithograph of that screen grab, and then I can get it signed. Remember, feeding brews into a 1-star is just as good as feeding brews into a 3-star for this event. I made the decision last night to go for it, and I've been feeding brews and doing campaign for the last 7 hours. Yeah, let's go ahead and look. So So rank 1, 2, and 3 are all the same.
Alex.
Rank 4 is more, 5 is more, and 6 is more. So it's not so much a matter of like the brews per star for me. It's more about also using it as a chance to progress towards getting more 5-star chickens, right? Like I'm going to get Freya. I want to turn her into a 6-star instantly, that kind of thing, you know? Although I don't know if I'll save it. If I was smart, I would save it for the next CVC, which is going to be personal reward CVCs, but I don't want to wait 2 weeks. So I'll probably just do it right away as soon as there's another champion training event. But that is a good point that here on this board, like 2s and 3s aren't that valuable, like comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get back to the 4-star champions. I am taking 40. So that guy, this guy, Pharsalus, I think that is my only Pharsalus. Pretty sure. Let's just do this to see. Yeah, he's my only Pharsalus. Okay, so let's max him out. Then let's max out what else did I have? I had Cryptwitch. Every time I see her, I can't help but think of like Manwich, the sandwich that's a meal or whatever, the Manwich. Do you remember that? It used to be like a thing you could buy, like a frozen food or something. It was like a meal that's fit for a man. Yeah, all right. These fragments don't expire, correct? So you can save summoning. That's true. That's actually true. So I could do that. So you could save summoning her, then pull her during the PR CVC, get the 30,000 points or whatever it is for a brand new Lego. 20,000, 30,000. Then also take her to 6-star, fully book her out. And like she by herself will get you something like 50,000, maybe 50,000 points for your PR CVC. So maybe I'll do that.
If you pull her, book her, and bring her to 60?
Yeah.
You're going to get more points than that.
I don't think so. Because Legendary Tome is 3,000 points, right?
So yeah, how many does she take?
I'm not sure, but we could check that. But on average, it's 10. So
yeah, that's what I normally count it off. Average of 10.
Yeah, so maybe 60,000 points.
Void Lego is like 30,000 points. Is that what I'm thinking?
I think for the CVCs, let's see, we still have the info right here. Where's the champion stuff? It's up top. So if you get a legendary champion,
it's to go through the cruise.
It's 10,000, and then it doubles because it's the first time you get that champion. So it would be 20,000 points for her summon, and then say 30,000 for books, plus a little bit for taking her to 60. So yeah, it could be like 60 to 65, maybe even 70,000, depending on, I forget how many, points you get to level them all the way up. And if she takes more books, you get a little bit extra there. I think she's like 10 or 11 books, though. I don't think she's a ton of books. Let's see. 4, 7, 9. She's 9. So yeah, I remember looking at that and thinking it wasn't too bad. So, but still, that's a nice chunk of points. 60,000 points for PR CVC. But maybe I'll hold her until then. What's going to tick me off is there's going to be like another event for Freya next week. Or like the last week. They're going to have
times cheaper.
They're going to have like shard pull events for Freya or something. I don't think they'll have another guaranteed champion. They already gave us 3 guaranteed champions. Actually 4 if you think about it. I mean, I don't consider a champion chase tournament a guaranteed champion, but they did have one for Odin. You're old enough to remember the Manwich things? Hungry Man TV dinners, is that what it was? I remember the Hungry Man TV dinners. You can still get those. Those are still a thing. I don't know if the Manwich is still a thing. Boozer said it took him 10 hours. Well, I think Boozer was doing a lot of campaign, probably, right? Like I'm going to do very limited campaign. I'm going to see if I can do it. And honestly, if it's just overwhelming, I'll probably say no. But let me just see if there are any other 4-star champions that just need to be maxed out. I don't think so. I don't think any of these matter. Let me just look at Jingle Hunter here. Jingle. No, do I have a Jingle Hunter going on? I do. Okay. But he can be a chicken.
You may.
Anybody else? Am I worried about any of these champions being chicken? I don't care about any of these champions.
I'm getting points towards Dark Kill now.
Hey, good. Dark Kale's awesome.
Look at that.
Dark Kale's really good. All right, so let's go ahead and put these in the vault. Put them back in the vault. So I don't know who goes in the reserve vault and who goes in the master vault. Do that. You go. Reserve vault. I need to expand my reserve vault, which is annoying, but I do. 11 million.
Who's he? What's he's?
11 million silver to expand my.
You ever played Dota 2?
I've played it like maybe a total of 3 hours.
Yeah, right. Like I think I played Dota 2 at some point, but I don't think you and I ever played it.
No, I don't think we did. All right, let's go to the main vault here and see who can move over to the reserve vault. Can any of these people be moved over to the reserve vault? Probably. Yeah, can do that. Actually, he might be the. She can definitely move over. She can move over.
You're saying Boozer didn't do campaign; he just used brews, and it took him 10 hours.
Really? Oh shit. That could be bad news for me.
Yeah. I think what everybody's trying to say is,
Hurry up.
get on it.
I was hoping to start earlier than I did, but we will have to see. This isn't helping. The lag is not helping.
Nope.
All right, let's go master vault with all of these. Do these. This guy, this guy, this guy. Master vault. Okay. That'll give us a little bit of room to work some. Oh, 301. Okay. That's fine. All right. So now all we have to do is we have to start using our things. Okay. So this is what I do for 4 stars. This is just my personal way of going about. I know everybody's got a little bit of a different one. I do 2 brews here, and then I do a 1-star chicken, and that takes you to level 15. And that's a really nice, like, efficient way to use the brews. Now, if you're trying to get more points, like, and you don't care about brew efficiency, then you could certainly do more. In that case, if I'm doing a 4-star chicken, I tend to do 4 brews instead, which takes you up to 21. So for 2 brews, you get 15, or for 2 more brews, you only get 6 levels, right? But sometimes you just need the extra points. And so that's what I'll probably be doing tonight, as I'll be going up here to 21. Just because you've now scared me with that whole boozer thing. Like, it took him 10 hours. That's not going to be good.
That's what people are saying, but I think some people are saying he did do campaign.
Uh-oh. I'm also on baby duty. He's making noises. He usually doesn't wake up, but he's been sick.
I appreciate our relationship, but you don't have to call me that. Okay. Thanks.
You want to see son teaches Colred Dota 2 stream? Jingle Hunter is actually amazing for Curse City. He hits really hard and he has some nice. There are a lot of epics who aren't really epics that you would invest a lot in for like the general game that become very usable in Centranos. This is highly annoying. Why is League stuttering for me? Stop stuttering. All right, we're going to do all of these up to 21. Oh, this is driving me batty. Now, Manwich has the sloppy Joe mix that came in the can and mixed it with ground beef. That's right. That's what Manwich was. Good call.
That's the good stuff right there.
Manwich is a form of sloppy Joe. Yeah, absolutely. 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's 8. So let's just max Lady Quillen out here. I was already running her up. She might even be in the sparring pit. And we'll just top her off with 1-star chicken so we don't waste a brew. And then we'll go ahead and upgrade her with the chickens that we just made, get us some space. And then let's see. So usually what I do with a 5-star is I will throw 5 brews on and a 1-star chicken. That takes them to 23. So what I used to do, if I'm trying to be less efficient, I usually use 8 and I go to 28, which is just 28. So that's probably what I'll do tonight. I'll just go to 28 for the 5 stars. All right. Now I probably want to get a good, like, I don't know, 30,000 points before I start pulling, because I do think that there's a lot, there's like 28 cards or something that are fragment cards. So you're really going to have to get close to 40 here. Let's go ahead and make some other 40s and we'll just finish those off. Perfect. I'm not real worried about the 1-stars because I have over 3,000 mystery shards. So I'm going to be pulling and I'm going to be running a little bit of campaign with the 1-stars and the 2-stars probably.
Oh.
What's going on? What are you upset about?
Rolling gear, and it's just,
Oh.
it's awful. That artifact enhancement, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna, oh, buddy.
Okay. Now, let's see. Let's do a few voids as well. We'll get rid of Weregrin here. I don't care about him. And let's actually do some, let's do some 3-stars. Get rid of our 3-stars. I love Selenia, but she's out. We're going to use her as a thing. Let's do her copy. Just keep going with all of these. Probably just I'll use all the voids. Why not use the voids? I used to have so many more void brews than any other brew, but now it's like I've gotten in the habit of using void rares as my chickens. I just burn through these. Yeah, I don't need this Umbral Enchantress. You had to flip all 40 cards, Dr. Who? That's what I'm expecting. I'm hoping not to, but we'll see. All right, so now let's make some actual...
It's a maximum of 40,000 points. That means forget 40,000 points.
Yeah, you got to go get the 40,000 points. All right, so let's see. Who can we make? Let's just make some. We'll do these 4 at a time. I need to just kind of reduce my champion count here, but I don't want to accidentally use up too many of my my rares, because the rares are actually more precious in some ways than the epic. Because when you're doing this kind of farming, you need so many more 3 stars than 4 stars. And if you burn through all of your rares, then you have to go make rares in campaign. And that's what I can't afford to do tonight because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make some room down here too. All right, let's see. So let's just go pull some. And, you know, we'll pick up a rare or 2 from this. Shouldn't be too bad. How many do I have? I have 3,196 now. So let's say I pull 500 of these maybe tonight. Maybe less. Do another one. Also, there is a 1+1 event on the got a rare right there. On the ancient shards. And I got 41 ancient shards. So I could go ahead and pull those if I wanted. I don't feel bad about this. I don't use those for much of anything.
At least.
At least?
Not 20.
Yeah.
I am. I don't know if you are, but I am.
Oh, gotcha.
Heck, let's do it right now.
All right. I'll keep working. Let me give you the screen. I'm going to keep working, but we can watch your temple. You're a little stuttery here in Discord right? For me too.
Oh, I know.
You going to pull them all? Are you just doing 110 pull? Are you deciding beforehand how many you're going to pull, or are you just going to see how it goes?
Nah, we're just going to do a 10 pull, brother.
Give me a second here. Don't pull yet. Oh, crap. Okay.
The luck is not on our side, so we might as well rip that. Oh, I already did.
All right. Yeah, you were frozen for a second, but yeah, blue tax. That sucks, man. Gonna keep going?
Well, you know what that means.
You got to make space.
Well, I got to clear some room, unfortunately. Yeah.
I've also got 87 3-star chickens, 109 4-star chickens, and 25-star chickens. So I can also dip into those if I have to. Doesn't reward as many points, but you're frozen.
No, you're frozen.
Now, that's possible.
I don't know if you actually are or not, but all right. Am I unfrozen?
Sort of. Go ahead. Good luck. Good luck, Mr.
0.5%.
Hot Hands. Mr. Hot Hands fighting the.
If flash purple, if flash purple, so that means it's blue tax all the way.
It flashed purple.
Yeah, it does that for me sometimes. And then I know.
And you know you're getting blue taxed.
All right. Last one.
Good luck.
All right, we got two blue taxes that could possibly.
You actually can't. I don't think you can get a third. You have to get a epic now because you're an epic mercy. Like, just get a gold. Get a gold. Get a gold right now. That hurt.
That hurt. Be me. Nah, it's all good. I think that's actually a new champ.
All right, so I'm going to run a little campaign here. Let me take back the screen here. I'm going to run a little campaign. Not a lot. Hopefully not too much. Couple of things I need to do. First of all, I need to make some 1-stars. I'm going to run, this is brutal. And if I'm trying to be really efficient with time, I'm a little bit less efficient with energy here because you can actually save 2 additional energy on each cycle of this, but I kind of just don't care. Unless I'm trying to be real efficient, but I'm worried about the whole timing. So we'll have to see. I mean, if this is going to take me until 4 in the morning, I have to be really. So now what you do is you get these 2 levels and then you drop down, you go to stage selection and you drop down to hard and you go to stage 12.3 and you do hard mode for 1 run. And this will get these to 10. And I actually think you have to do hard mode for 1-stars. But for 2-stars, you can actually drop down in normal mode. That's where you would save the 2 extra energy. But for right now, I'm just going to do some 1-stars. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back in with 3 here on hard, do 1 run here, and then go back up to brutal and do 2 runs. As long as you remember to make the swaps at the right times, then it's more efficient. And you're saving 4 energy per 6 champions that you create 10 stars. The lag is gonna drive me freaking nuts, and I don't want to stop the stream again, but I'm so like I might have to restart raid at the very least. So let me just go up to brutal and run this twice more. Get these maxed out.
You can restart raid and not do anything else.
I know, that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to restart raid here. Yeah, most people are going to have to pull every shard. Three stars are the least efficient, but they get you to the 4 stars, right? So you got to kind of do it all anyway. I'm not going to make like 200 1-star chickens and then not turn them into 2 stars, or make 200 2-star chickens and not turn them into 3 stars. You have to, just because you don't have the roster space. Like, you have to. I just spent 11 million to get 10 slots. It's more than $1 million per slot in my vault at the moment, which is just absurd. Just so I could get a little bit of more room to play with here. All right, let me restart raid, because this is highly irritating. In fact, let me close Plarium Play as well. And let me exit out of Vanguard. Get any resources back I can get.
That ain't it. It could roll into speed, or it could roll into flat attack. Take one wild guess.
Double defense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like to start like conspiracy theories or like get into that, but it doesn't feel like the RNG for gear rolling is actual randomness. It definitely feels like, because you have to pull up a champion in order to roll gear. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's almost like the champion that you pull up, like you're gearing Thor, so you want crit rate, crit damage, speed, and accuracy. We're gonna make sure to give you flat defense and flat HP. You know, and then you're like, okay, well, let me go and do, like an HP based champion. Like, oh, I'm running up a tank. And then they're like, oh, here's a quad crit rate roll, and it's like, it doesn't seem right. And there have definitely been times where like I've done 2 or 3 items. Like, you'll find items that have the same stats in the same locations, and then you'll roll them and you'll get the same rolls in the same locations. And they'll be bad roll. You're like, oh, you double rolled flat attack in the mid spot on an epic weapon. And you did that on 2 epic weapons with the same stats. So, you had like speed, crit rate, and flat attack. And then you had speed, crit rate, and flat attack. and both weapons roll into flat attack, and you're like, that feels not like random.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate.
Okay, let's
and
see.
It feels like there are days when I hit speed.
Yeah.
And I just hit nothing but speed.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And then there's days that just like today, right? That's the first double speed roll.
Yeah. No, I have had days where I'm trying to build a clan boss speed tune, and I just need like 5 more speed, and I have to roll 30 pieces to get it. You know, and you're like, like I've had 20 perception pieces that all had speed, and all I needed was 1 double roll of speed on any of those 20 pieces. I've missed on all 20 pieces and had to go to the speed set and get a single roll there and like drop my accuracy and like screw my build, because that's the only way to make the speed tune work. Like I've had it happen, I don't know, 8 or 10 times. Like it happens way too frequently. They announced
12,
some little
speed.
patch. Maybe that's the lag.
Oh.
That could have been it. There was a little patch.
Just a wee little one.
Yeah, there's also something I do here sometimes, which is I level up with 1 stars. Like, so I'll take 2 and 3 stars almost all the way, and then I'll just top them off in the tavern with 1 stars. That burns through mystery shards really quickly. But sometimes it's just you don't have the energy and you don't want to spend gems, and so you're like, I've got these mystery shards, I may as well use them for something. So yeah. So over the course of this live stream, the poll has gotten more and more negative. It started at about 70% go getter, and now it's down to 60%. 40% of people are like, no, don't validate this deck of fate. Yeah, I think it's a bad. I'm going to stop it right there just because it's a nice 60-40 split. But yeah, it's a bad deck of fate. I agree. I don't want to validate the deck of fate, but I want to complete the set.